This is a Swad Walker Associate Editor. We are here with Dr. Willie Taylor. Sir, thank you for giving us your time. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, doing all right.
That's good to hear. Can you say a word about who you are for the Defender family who may not know you?
Okay, I Willie Taylor, born and raised in Houston, Texas. Went to Worthing High School, finished there in 1962. Went to Prairie View A&M University, finished there in 1966 with a BS, and got a MS Masters in 1967, and started working on my PhD at the University of Houston around 1968. So I'm a Houstonian all the way through.
Through and through, through and through. So I was speaking to Jackie, Reverend Jacqueline Giles, and she tells me are you the first brother to receive a PhD in math from the
I was the
University of Houston?
first male black PhD to get a PhD at UH. One of my advisors at Prairie View, her name was Evelyn Thornton. She was the first black actually to get a PhD in math there. She got hers in 1973. I got my degree in 1974 from there.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead. And so from there, what was your next move?
I think I was teaching at Prairie View and going to school like at night and evenings, and so I just stayed at Prairie View until 1979. I left Prairie View and went to Texas A&M at Galveston, and I stayed there 2 years, and then I came to Texas Southern University in 1981 and been there ever since.
Wow, wow. So PV and TSU. So of the two, I mean, they have this big rivalry. Which one is the best? Come on now, you should know.
Well, they're both good. They're both good. I don't know which is one of the best. I'm a Like I said, I got 2 degrees from Prairie View, so that's where my heart is.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Can you speak to the narrative that society always tells and seems to believe that black kids just can't do well in math? Can you
Oh,
speak to
that's
that?
not true. That's not true. That's not true. But you have to study it. You do have to work at it. It's just like, people say, well, they love playing sports and they're good at basketball and football. That's because they practice at it. It's the same thing with mathematics. You practice at it, you study it, you look at it, you talk about it. Uh, and one of the things that uh, researchers have found out, black kids tend to try to do stuff on their own, while Asian kids try to get together. And that's sort of what we did at Texas Southern with this, what we call the LSAM program, Lewis Stokes Minority Participation Program. We bring black students together. We have what we call collaborative learning center. We want them to talk to each other, discuss stuff, and that makes it better. It makes it easier to understand because I realized when I was at Prairie View, people as a students would ask me stuff, and by me trying to help them understand, it made me understand it better. So the collaborating part is really, really good.
And so where is this collaborative center and who can participate?
It's called the Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation. We call it LSAMP for short. We've had it at Texas Southern since 2002. It was a collaborative effort with the University of Houston. Uh, let's see, University of Houston. Who else? Was Southwest Texas State. Uh, we still have it. And actually, they just got it approved again for another 5 years. I'm going to be retiring this year, so I won't be part of it much longer. But it's a great program where students get together and collaborate, and they have to do a lot of other things. They have to apply for internships during the summer and go places. And but it's a great program. And as I say, we've had it since 2002.
Yeah. And so so it's for college students at TSU and at U of H.
Yes, and you have and to attend the Texas Southern LSAM program, you have to be majoring in either mathematics, physics, chemistry, or computer science. Those are the only four majors that we take.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So what was it about math, as a young kid, what was it about math that attracted you, or what was it about you that attracted you to math?
Well, believe it or not, when I went to Prairie View to college, I did not go to major in mathematics.
Hmm.
I actually went to major in music.
Wow.
Yeah, because when I was here in Houston, I was part of a jazz combos and jazz, and I played in the band and all that good stuff.
What
And
instrument?
I wanted to be a jazz composer, a jazz music composer. But Prairie View did not have a jazz music program, and I didn't want to just do the regular music program. So I said, oh well, I don't want to do the music program, so I'll just do math. And so what I realized was both music and math are pattern oriented. They have patterns. So that's what they're sort of like in that sense. And so I just decided to do the math thing. And then I saw the professor sitting around drinking coffee at the review. And I said, oh, I think, would like to do this. And so I asked them, what do I need to do if I want to become a college professor? And they said, you have to get a PhD in math. And at the time, at the time, I think none of them had PhDs in math.
Wow.
They were teaching. This was back in the 60s now. And so,
Mhm.
and so none of them had PhDs in math, but they said, if you really want to be a math professor, you need to get a PhD in math. And so that's what sort of started me on the path. Uh, and I decided I would go to UH, and I started taking all these extra foreign languages and things that they said I needed to have. And that was it. That was the start of my journey from at Prairie View.
Wow. My youngest child, my youngest daughter, excuse me, um, she's in her last year at U of A. She's a math major, so
Okay.
I'm gonna see if she knows about the LSAM program. I'm gonna tell her about
Okay.
that.
Okay.
But you brought up something. I keep hearing about this relationship between math and music, and you kind of touched on that. Can you speak a little more about that?
Well, as I said, I think that what they have in common, they are patterns. You have patterns in music, you have patterns in math. So that's I think that's what brings it together. The fact that you
Hmm.
have patterns in both of them.
Any advice for young people in middle school, high school that are contemplating thinking about majoring in math?
Well,
Or if they're struggling in math and don't think that they can do it just because society says black kids can't do it.
oh, you can do it. You can do it. And but it's what I said earlier. You have to do well in algebra. You have to do, and you need to take all the algebra that you can take, which I
Hmm.
think is just algebra one, algebra two now. But
Yeah.
now they have the way they do it. They sort of do it crazy. They make you take algebra one, then you take a geometry course, then you go back and take algebra two. That's the way they do it. I don't know why they do it that way, but that's the way they do it.
Yeah.
But try to make A's in algebra. That's the key.
Yep.
Learn the algebra, and you can do it.
Yes, sir.